happy Tuesday, and welcome to my live stream. I am Adama Hamadi. I am the career clarity coach and lifestyle design expert for aspiring entrepreneurs, and I love to help women get out of their head and into their dream careers. My goal is to help us debunk the myth that success requires suffering so that we can allow ourselves to live lives that really honor who we are. Hey girl, hey. So I want to talk today about scarcity mindset. I want to talk about how scarcity mindset holds otherwise really powerful women back. Hey, baby. I want to talk about how scarcity mindset holds women back from making the difference that they are here to make. It is a fallacy. It is a very common misconception that a lot of people have, and it is blocking blessings and making life harder than it needs to be. So I want to talk a little bit about what it means, how you might know that you're living in scarcity mindset, and then a little bit of what we can do about it so that we can get out of our own way and into our most delicious dream lives and careers. So, scarcity mindset. What is it, right? What does it mean to be stuck in scarcity and scarcity mentality? It essentially means that you believe everything is limited. You believe that there's not enough to go around. And you're worried that you can't have access to certain things. It's something that feels really true. It's something that we can find lots of ways to defend and justify, but at the end of the day, it is a fallacy. Scarcity mindset is the belief and assumption that there is simply not enough for you to access or enjoy your most delicious life. Let me show you what it might look like. You might, hey Natalia, happy belated birthday. I'm sorry that I didn't send you a message. I was thinking about you. So scarcity mindset might look like hoarding. That's a really big example. If you are collecting lots of things that you know you don't have any use for, but you're afraid to let them go because you might need them eventually, that might be scarcity mindset. Scarcity mindset also, in a really tricky way, could be perfectionism. If you don't ever let yourself show up in an imperfect way, because you're afraid that you have to get things right on the first try, because you're afraid that things have to look a certain way to be worthy, because you are thinking that it doesn't mean anything if it's not perfectly done. That is a perfect example of scarcity mindset. Feeling like I only have one shot, I don't want to fuck it up. I can only do this once, so I have to do it right. That is scarcity mindset at work. It's really tricky. It's really sneaky. Have you thinking that's the way things have to be. Another example of scarcity mindset is overachieving. Thank you for the hearts, loves. That girl, it is definitely you. Tell on yourself, girl. Another example of scarcity mindset is overachieving. When you're collecting trophies, you're collecting accolades, you're collecting certificates, you're doing the most and trying to collect proof that you've done enough. That might be a sign that you feel like there isn't enough for you. But at the end of the day, you can't get enough of what you don't really need. So you're continuing to collect all these accomplishments because you think then you'll feel like something. Then you'll be able to hit the jackpot. Then you'll get saved. Then you'll get what you want, right? So those are some ways that scarcity mentality shows up. I want to talk about some other ways that are really, really big. When you assume that something is out of your league, or you refuse to go after something, come on, DeAndrea. When you refuse to go after something because you automatically assume it's out of your league, or you give up on something before you've even really tried because you can't afford it, because it's not for you, because you just know it's not going to work, that's an example of scarcity mindset at work. Where the hell did you get the idea that this wasn't going to work for you if you never even tried it? You've already assumed that you don't have enough or you can't do enough to get that. You're already ruling yourself out. You've assumed there's only a small select few people that can get that, and you weren't chosen. That's scarcity mindset at work. Scarcity mindset might also look like, and I think this is a way that, excuse this bra strap, Lord. This is a way that I see very often, particularly with women that are out there getting things done. I like to work with super women, and a lot of super women really are stuck with this. When you find yourself making everything into a competition, when you feel like you have to compete with everybody. I don't even, when thinking about other people in my industry, I like to refer to those women as my niche mates. There is no competition because we're each showing up as our unique selves, and that's enough, right? It's taken me so long to get to that place. But when you're taught that everything is a fight to the top, when you're taught that you have to prove yourself and that you have to elbow people out of the way and that it's either you or them, but everybody can't have it, that puts you in a place where you don't allow yourself to collaborate and you don't allow yourself to see what else is going on around you because you're afraid that you won't be able to match up, right? That sense of inadequacy, the sense of if I'm not doing things exactly the way this person is doing it, then I'm not doing enough. Right? That is scarcity mindset, and it is fucking up your life. It's causing a lot of stress unnecessarily. I also really believe, thank you. These are elephant earrings from Natural Girls Rock. I love elephants. And these are earrings that I haven't worn in a little while, but thank you for noticing, Natalia. What was I saying? Anyway, so if you're feeling the urge to compete with everybody around you, that's a sign that you don't think there's enough success to go around. It's a fallacy. It's simply not true. No matter how well you think someone's doing, you have access to how well they're doing. You have access to that level of success. And until you unlearn the scarcity mindset, you're not going to allow yourself to be put out there. You're not going to be allowed to make the difference that you are here to make. So we have to unlearn scarcity. I also think it's important to note that whatever you're able to admire in someone else is laying dormant within you. So it's on you to tap into that and bring it to the forefront. It's on you to do the work to remember how long ago you hid that, or when you decided it wasn't safe to do that. But if someone has something that you want, jealousy is a waste of your energy. Rather than obsessing over them, you can study under them. Rather than assuming that they have access to some magical power that you don't, it's about getting down to it. What are they giving themselves permission to have that you haven't given yourself permission to have? What are they allowing themselves to do that you told yourself you can't do? It's about creating new rules and turning shit on its head. Right? All right. Moving on. So, if you're looking at everything as competition, if you are in a, I either get to the very top or I have nothing and I need to fight to get my way up there, there is something deep down that says, it says I don't have enough or I haven't done enough, but really that's code for I don't feel good enough. If you feel like you need to always be doing more to earn like that pie in the sky shit, deep down you believe that you're not good enough. And so you're going to keep stacking up accomplishments and physical things and external trappings and markers of success, but never really internalizing any of your wins. It's going to be really, really hard to enjoy what you've worked so hard for, because at the end of the day, you can never have enough of what you don't actually need. And you don't need this validation. You don't need these things. You don't need... I done gave away the secret for free, but really that's what it is. You don't have to earn or prove other people is available to you. You get to mean to say that obstacles don't exist. There are many obstacles, including some systemic barriers that are put in place. But at the end of the day, you have access to so much more power than you are acknowledging. And scarcity mindset is your inner critic trying to convince you that you'll never have enough. When you live in a capitalist society, this society is built off of you doubting yourself. This is built off of you feeling like you need one more purchase, one more thing, one more class, one more something to be enough. And I am here to remind you that you are enough now. and your gifts are enough now. And the work that you're doing is enough now. And if you can own that and internalize that and sprinkle that on everything, you will be able to create magic and a delicious career and life and delicious relationships. But it requires you to unlearn scarcity mentality. So if I say all the time, like when we're talking about life design, it all comes down to mindset management. It all comes down to training your brain, right? And my favorite hack for training your brain is whenever you're seeing a result you don't want, you need to get to the root of the thought you've been thinking and then replace it with a thought that feels better. Similarly, if you feel yourself stuck in scarcity mindset, you need to be choosing a mindset that feels better, replacing scarcity with something that feels better. And my favorite alternative, a better feeling alternative to scarcity mindset, is abundance mindset. So we heard about what scarcity mindset is. What do you assume abundance mindset has to mean? Part of me is asking because I just want to get some more water. I want you to riff a little bit. What are your thoughts? Write in the comments for me. What are your thoughts on what abundance mindset means or what it looks like? Any thoughts? What are our thoughts on what abundance mindset is? If we've already just learned what scarcity mindset. Yes. Knowing that you'll have what you desire. All right. I like that. I like that. We're about halfway there on that. Knowing that you will have what you desire, or knowing that you can have what you desire because there's enough to go around. I love that. Come on, DeAndrea. There is more than enough for everybody in my lane, and I need only to step up and get mine. That is exactly what abundance mindset looks like. When abundance is your standard, when more than enough is your standard, all you do is step up and claim what you already know is yours. You don't shit. You honestly don't have to hustle for shit because it's already yours. You're claiming it because you know it's yours. You've done the work already, and all you have to do is show up as you and claim what is yours. That is what it looks like to be embodying abundance. That is what it looks like to live in the abundance standard. Hey, AJ. Welcome, my darling. So, I love to think of abundance mindset as believing that you have permission to be, do, or have whatever you want because there's always more than enough. It's choosing to remember how powerful you are, choosing to remember that you have permission to claim what's already yours, and just allowing it to be easy. I've been sprinkling this motto all over my life for the last few months. Let it be easy. Allow it to be easy. I choose ease, right? Come on, Law. Tell me about that. What you mean, AJ? Law of attraction. Now, The Secret had people out here they were really overselling law of attraction and under explaining all the requirements of it. I am not a manifestation expert. I very much believe in the power of manifestation and law of attraction, but I do not feel qualified to explain all of the workings of manifestation. If you're looking for that, I would send you in the direction of Amanda Francis. I would send you in the direction of Elizabeth Purvis. But at the end of the day, abundance is something that you get to claim, and then you get to collect evidence. I love confidence comes from evidence. So you get to collect evidence that what you want is possible and that it's accessible. And then you collect evidence that you're already on track for that. And you focus on what you want rather than what you're afraid of losing. You focus on who you want to become and not who you're used to being. You focus on what you want and you create what you want by being intentional with your language, being intentional with who you surround yourself with, who you allow in your space and energy, what you give your attention to, what you consume, right? It's all about intentionality. It's all about intentionality, but it starts with the decision that abundance is your standard. It starts with the decision that you have nothing to prove or nothing to perform. It starts with the decision that it is safe to want what you want and that you are willing to be guided and do the work to create that. That is what it starts with. But none of that is possible if you're still working under the understanding that you're not enough and you'll never be enough. Let's start right now on the basic shit. You are enough. You are born worthy. Absolutely nothing has changed. No mistakes were made in your creation. No mistakes were made in your design, right? If that is true, if you truly believe that were true and you truly believe that you deserved and were worthy of absolutely everything you wanted to go after, what would you want? We can always tell how much we think we're worth by what we ask for. And a lot of people ask for little because they don't want to be burdensome. They don't want to bother, right? I don't want to do too much. I don't want to ask for too much. But you assuming that what you want is too much comes from scarcity mindset. And you have to unlearn that to give yourself permission to enjoy whatever you're going to have anyway. I'm going to have some more water. I want you to really marinate on that idea. And then I'm going to open this up for questions. Now, I know scarcity mindset is a really big thing. Let me break this down for you, just to let you know. I do this mindset shit for a living. I do this practice every fucking day, and I still get caught up in things. Sometimes my scarcity mindset looks like over preparing. And it's not just because I'm a Virgo. It's because at the end of the day, I'm worried that if things don't show up perfectly and properly, that I'm going to be scrambling and frantic and I'm going to turn people away. But I have to understand, I'm not here to chase or beg people to work with me. I'm here to remind people of their power by showing up in my power, right? And sometimes that power looks like trusting that I will be guided. And sometimes that power looks like trusting that the right words are going to come through me because I've done the work to be a clear channel. And sometimes that looks like trusting that if people don't receive what I have to say, the message was not for them. But I'm not here to convince. I'm not here to audition. I'm not here to perform. I get to be me so I can make it safe for you to be you. And that's something that I've had to work through. That is a mindset management practice that I've had to take on because scarcity mentality is everywhere. It's everywhere. Scarcity is in the language we use when you say things like, oh, I can't afford that. How do you know you can't afford that? If I say I'm launching a program on July 1st called the Purpose-Driven Powerhouse, and it is a training bundle, and if I say the levels start at $444, if you say to me, oh, I can't afford that, I'm like, so you're planning to not be able to afford that July 1st? Like, we got to be careful with the language we use. You're already planning to not be able to afford that? What do you mean? We have to be more intentional with our language. But you've been programmed to say, oh, that's a lot of money, I can't afford it. You've been programmed to settle for scarcity. You've been programmed to assume that scarcity is just what it is. When scarcity is not your destiny, abundance is. But that takes unlearning. And that's part of what I'm here to help you do. If you got comfortable settling for less, if you got comfortable assuming that you need to fight for the scraps, you don't even know that you have access to the whole fucking table. You don't know that you have access to anything at the table when you're used to being thrown scraps. And the system and society we live in, people that look like me get very used to that. But I'm here to help us debunk that myth. I'm here to help us unlearn that and strive for more and not apologize for it. I'm not apologizing for the prices that I set. Scarcity is not your destiny. Abundance is. And that's that. That's that on that. That's the black ass facts on that. And like I said, because mindset management is a lifelong practice, these are things that I have to unlearn often. I did the work to unlearn them years ago, but they still pop up. When I'm stepping into a new level in my career, when I am taking on a different caliber of client, when I'm coming up with a new offer, I have to unlearn this every so often. And it doesn't mean the work didn't work. It means that I'm growing into a different kind of person. And I welcome that. And I urge you to welcome that. This is just a mindset shift. So, I think I am done riffing on scarcity mindset. I just want us to really be clear that scarcity keeps us stuck, but we always have other options. We always have access to something else. If scarcity keeps you stuck and being stuck is a choice, then you have to remember you have the power to choose something better. And the better feeling alternative to scarcity mindset is abundance mindset. And if you want support in training your brain to make abundance your norm, I would be honored to support you, either through my training bundle or through 90-day program. DM me after this if you have questions about how either of those work. The 90-day program is by application only. The training bundle is not going to launch until July 1st, but I will answer any questions you have now and send any payment links if you want to move forward. Either way, let's open this up. I want to know what questions we have about scarcity versus abundance and about what we can do to move forward. I'm going to have some more water, okay? I know we got some questions. What's coming up for you as you think about scarcity, as you think about abundance and possibilities and playing with possibility? What comes up for you? What's landing? What do you still have some stuff going on for? What do you want some clarity on? We got a shy bunch today. We got a shy bunch. Scarcity is so measurable and it is everywhere. Tell me more about that, love. What do you mean? Ooh, abundance feels mystical. All right. Thank you for that, because I remember feeling really triggered when I heard people say that abundance can be my standard. I remember feeling really triggered, like, you have no idea how difficult it is for me. You don't know how I grew up. Right. All that. I get all that, and I receive it, and I understand. I urge you to entertain the possibility that you have that same access. I want you to play with the possibility that abundance is not reserved for a select few. If it were true for you that you had access to abundance, what would you do differently? If it were true for you that you had permission to access whatever you wanted, what would you do differently? That's the kind of work that I urge you to be doing. Let's say this shit isn't absurd. Let's say it is possible. I'm not even going to say likely. Let's say it is possible that abundance can be your standard. What do you get to do now? What do you get to try now? What do you get to think now? Because remember, the results that we're having right now were always originally created by thoughts. Our thoughts determine our feelings, which determine what action we take or don't take, and that determines the results that we see. So if you want to change your results, you need to be changing the things you're saying to yourself. You definitely have to believe it, so much so that mindset of abundance cancels that Absolutely. I always say confidence comes from evidence. So if I am trying to feel confident that abundance can be my standard, I need to be compiling lists, signs that I'm on track to my most abundant life. I need to be collecting evidence that I've already been abundant. I need to collect evidence that I have abundance all around me. And it starts with shit that feels silly, but then you walk your way through. Walk on my purpose without worry or fear. Come on, Nicole. Tell me a little bit more about that. And as you're telling me that, I do want to speak on, when you start this work, it's going to feel absurd and it's going to feel ridiculous, right? But if you keep doing the work will work for you. So sometimes when I'm looking for evidence of abundance, I look at the clothes in my closet. I have an abundance of clothes. I already have access to abundance, right? I have an abundance of family members, Lord, right? I have an abundance of pens. I have an abundance of earrings. It starts really, really small. If you're not willing to take baby steps, you're not committed enough yet. Start small until you can create the big. But we're not in a position to discredit any wins right now. So practice noticing and celebrating any bit of abundance that you already have access to in order to create more. What you appreciate, appreciates. And if you're not grateful for the little bit that you have now, God's absolutely not in a rush to give you more. I truly believe that. I truly, truly believe that. Oh, thank you for that mental shift. You are so welcome. Can you tell me a little bit more about what shifted for you there? Because I don't mean to say that you walk in your purpose without fear. I'm terrified every day. I am terrified every day. But I'm more committed to my greatness than I am to my insecurities. So I'm more focused on my desired impact than on my insecurities. I'm allowed to be insecure and go after what I want. I'm allowed to feel uncertain and go after what I want. And I urge you to try that. Oh, Natalia, thanks for what? I mean, you're welcome. You're always welcome. I want to be clear on what's being helpful for you. Hey, Jen. Welcome, darling. Yeah, I'm always really put off by people that claim to be fearless. I think if you're truly fearless, that's like sociopathy. That's concerning to me. There should always be a little bit of fear just to know that you're still like functioning in safe, healthy ways with other human beings. But fear is not a big enough reason not to go after what you want. We're all afraid. There's nothing unique about that. So be afraid and focused. Be afraid and affirm yourself. Be afraid and take aligned action. Be afraid and do something different. There's nothing unique or cute about your fear. And overachievers have the sexiest excuses, but I'm not impressed by that shit. And you don't need to be either. I'm terrified every single day. Y'all, I'm a Virgo. I am a Virgo. I really don't like not being good at shit. I don't like feeling like a novice. I don't like showing up and failing. I sure as hell don't like failing in front of an audience. But again, I am more committed to my desired impact than to my insecurities. So you can't tell me shit, and I'm gonna show up raw and real and unpolished, and y'all gonna get what you get. And I trust that the right words are gonna come through me. And I trust that the people that already need what I have to say are going to receive that and move forward with it. Hey, Tiffany, welcome. I've been taking those small Yes, Virgo. I've been taking those small victories and acknowledging them and feeling all the feels. The mental shift of the abundance I do have. I've been focusing on what I have and not what I don't. There we go. Focus more on what you want than what you're afraid of losing. We have to be very, very careful where we put our energy and attention. And at the end of the day, if you're saying manifestation is not working, it's not working. We're manifesting all the fucking time. If you're manifesting what you don't want, it's because you've been focusing on the wrong shit. If you're manifesting stress and burnout, it's because you've been focusing on the wrong shit. So it's on you to tell the truth about where your attention deserves to be. What's actually worthy of your time. What's actually worthy of your attention. What actually needs to be in your space. You got to practice shutting out the noise. My morning routine is fucking unshakable. I have trained the people around me. I've trained my husband. I've trained my child. I have trained my friends not to call me at a certain time because they know I'm going to be in my power hour. And they know that I'm in it. Right? I've been manifesting what I want. Exactly. Yeah, it is so easy. It is so easy to assume that there are limits to what we get to have. And if it serves you to think that, then keep thinking that, boo. But chances are, you're ending up feeling empty as hell because you want something and you've convinced yourself you can't have it. It's about choosing better feeling thoughts. It's about deciding that you get to have what you want because of who you are. It's about deciding that it is safe for you to want what you want. It's about deciding that you can always choose something different. That you get to be abundant no matter what the fuck you grew up in. That you get to have what you want no matter what the people around you have. The rules that bind other people don't have to apply to you. And the scarcity that holds other people back does not have to hold you back. It's a decision. It's a decision that I have to make every day. It's a decision that you will have to make every day. When we're reprogramming our minds, when we are training our brains to work with us, this is daily work. I give you the tools, and then you get to use them over and over again in your life. This ain't no one and done shit. But just like you didn't learn scarcity in one night, you're not going to unlearn it in one night. It took you, I don't know, let's say 30 years to learn this. It's going to take you more than one night to unlearn it. It doesn't have to take you another 30 years unless you like things to come slowly. But I'm choosing ease. I'm choosing ease. I'm choosing abundance. I'm choosing to have what I want. And I'm choosing to let that be okay. This is a choice that I have made. And so I'm allowing this to be easier than I told myself life has to be. And I urge you to try that on yourself. Take what works, trash what doesn't. I can't want this more than you do. And if you want your life to continue being hard because that's what you're used to, you get to have that. But if you want your life to feel easier, now would be a perfect time to choose abundance. And if you want support making that choice for abundance every single day, then I urge you to apply for the Decide to Succeed 90-day program so that you can reprogram your subconscious. So you can plant a new self-concept in your brain and honor that in every decision you make. So you can design your days to make that level of abundance the norm. And guilt-free. What questions do we have, family? Because I'll just go on a rant if you let me, Lord. What questions do we have? I forgot to mention, if I share something that you would feel guilty keeping to yourself, go ahead and type that in the comments so that other people that are more visual processors can read that. And if you want to share this out, go on ahead and share this with someone that would value the conversation. I would love to hear what some big takeaways are so far. What's landing for you? What's an aha, an insight that you're having? Or what's a question that you want some clarity on? Tips on manifesting. Care to be a little more specific? As I mentioned, I am not a manifestation expert, but if you want to learn more about that manifestation life, I would definitely send you to Amanda Francis or Elizabeth Purvis for manifestation. Those are my manifestation mentors. But if you ask a more specific question, I can definitely zero in. Before I even get your specification or your clarity on that, we are always manifesting all the time anyway. So it would serve you best to manifest on purpose and to manifest what you want. You're already manifesting. Manifestation is already working, no matter what you're doing or not doing. So if you want to manifest something different, you might want to think about what you've been thinking and what you're creating with your thoughts and your words. We throw words around all the time as jokes, and our brain cannot tell the difference. So if your brain already assumes everything you're saying is the truth, why not feed it things that you want to be true? I'm still working on changing my language in my head and out loud. Absolutely. And it's a practice. It's a practice, my love. Not as easy as I thought it would be. All right. What would it take to make this feel easier? What would it take to make it easier for your default self-talk to be positive and empowering? I want you to journal on that. What things do you wish your brain thought on default? I want you to journal on that. What shit do you want to be true about you and what's possible for you? I want you to journal on that. Not giving up on... Not giving up on what, Jen? Now, as I mentioned, I'm not a manifestation expert, but we absolutely go into how our thoughts create our realities and how you need to change your self-concept to change your self-talk. That is something that we go into in depth in my 90-day program. So if that is something that is interesting to you, mommy, if you are serious about that, I want you to... Writing certain affirmations helps. Yes, writing affirmations can help, but writing affirmations is not the end. You write the affirmation. You feel the feeling of if you believe that shit were true. You practice holding that feeling. You collect evidence that what you want to be true is already true. You collect evidence and you stay grounded in that. And then you get rid of anything that doesn't align with that. You get rid of anything that does not align with what you want for your life. It's about you designing your environment to make your success inevitable, which is something we go into in month 3 of my 90-day program. Not giving up on... I am not here to tell anyone to hold on to a goal just because they've said it. Sunk cost fallacy is a fallacy. So if you're believing you have to keep a goal going just because you've practiced thinking about it, that's bullshit. If the goal doesn't align with what you want, if the goal doesn't align with what you want most for your life, then you have permission to give that shit up and try something else. But if this is a goal that you want, it's important that you get down to the stories you're telling yourself about why you can't have it. That's right, mommy. Confidence comes from evidence. So if you want to feel confident that something is possible for you, you need to be collecting evidence. I am a professional detective, honey. When it comes to finding proof that I can have what I want, I told you it's been very, very hard fought taking on this abundance mindset. And now I'm simply unwilling to compromise that. I'm simply unwilling to compromise my vibe or compromise on my alignment. I'm committed to alignment with what I want. So I'm constantly collecting evidence that what I want is possible. I'm constantly collecting evidence of Black women that are building coaching empires that reach multiple 6-figure levels, right? I am constantly collecting evidence that it is safe for me to live in, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, which is where I want to move, right? I am collecting evidence that what I want is possible, that what I want is safe, that what I want is doable, that what I want is accessible. Constantly collecting evidence so that I can feel more confident, so that it becomes second nature and a norm and a standard. And another way to collect evidence is to surround yourself for whom what you want is not a stretch, but the standard. Surround yourself with people for whom your desire is the norm. Because if it's normal for them and you spend enough time around them, it becomes normal for you. And when it becomes normal for you and comfortable and familiar, that's when your brain starts to think it's safe. And when your brain thinks it's safe, your brain will allow you to have it because your brain would rather be safe than happy. But if you can train your brain to think that safe and happiness can come together, then you win. That is the crux of our work together. When you sign up for Decide to Succeed, you make a decision to succeed, and then you make success safe. That is what we work on together. Evidence of and instruction for. Break that down for me, Michelle. What do you mean? Happiness is safety is success. Yes. Our primitive brain would rather be safe than happy. It is our job to train our brain to believe that happiness is safe. Because a lot of us believe that joy is foreboding. A lot of us believe that joy is dangerous and that it won't last and that there's not enough of it to go around, so we might as well settle for something else. All back to scarcity mindset. I'm trying to tell y'all, this scarcity shit is everywhere. Evidence of what is possible and instruction for how to attain it through observation. Absolutely. We can attain shit through observation, through osmosis, through intentionality. Right. Absolutely. And thank you for the hearts. I appreciate that. Yeah. When we talk about instructions for how to attain something, Michelle, I know that as professional students, you and I love to study and observe and take notes. It is so much more important to implement what we're learning than to keep learning new shit. So, awareness without action is a waste of time and a waste of power. When you become aware of something, it is your duty to your higher self to act like you know and to do something with what you've learned. Which is why I don't want you just taking notes and then throwing your notebook away. I don't want you to just have a notebook full of notes if you're not doing anything different. I tell people all the time, if you come to every single live and nothing is changing, then it is a waste of everyone's time. And you already know I'm not available for time wasters. I'm simply not available for time wasters or energy drains. I'm here for your freedom. I'm here for you to act like you know and act on what you know. Trust your magic. Do the work. Trust that the next steps will be revealed. Trust that if you take one aligned action step today, you will be rewarded for it. And more steps will come. You don't need to have the entire detailed plan. You just need to have a clear vision and a willingness to move forward it imperfectly. And permission to course correct. And if you already have a plan and you're just sitting around waiting for accountability, I can do that. It's literally my job as your coach. I help you get clear on what you want. I help you get rid of anything that's keeping you from having what you want. And I help you to stay focused on that so that your success is inevitable. In the last week, I've been spurred into urgent action. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It's so easy to collect plans. There's no prize for plans that you're not about to do shit about. The goal is to take imperfect action. The goal is to give yourself permission to course correct. Again, as a Virgo and as a recovering perfectionist, it was very difficult for me to ever do anything that was not planned to the T. I used to have a plan A, B, C, D, E. I used to have multiple backup plans because, again, I didn't trust that it was safe to try new things. And I had to give myself permission to try new things. And I had to give myself permission to make mistakes because I know that failure is feedback. And I had to practice thinking that I either get what I want or something better. But my success is inevitable. I cannot fuck this up. That is something that I've had to practice thinking. And I will lend that to you. That can be an affirmation that you can take on. That can be something you start collecting evidence for. The goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. The goal is to stay present. The goal is to own your power. But it's not about being perfect, because spoiler alert, we all know you're not perfect. And no one's ever going to be perfect. And perfectionism is procrastination, because all that time you're wasting trying to prove something that's not going to happen anyway, you could have been making a difference. People don't pay me for my perfection. They pay me because I give them permission to be imperfect. People don't pay me. I don't look the part of your average high-end coach. And I'm not here to look good. I'm here to lead. When I show up as me, no makeup on, head wrap on, when I show up as I am, I give you space and permission to show up as you are. The world needs you unleashed, not some like perfect rendition of you. It serves nobody to hide who you really are. It serves nobody to hide your gifts until they're perfect. Stop hoarding that scarcity mindset. And remember, our results are going to require us to choose abundance instead. You have permission to show up just as you are. You have permission to do everything the way that you do it, the way it comes to you, and course correct. And if that idea feels impossible, but feels sexy, if it's something that like you don't know how it's going to work, it's not your job to figure out the how. Amanda Francis always says the how is not your responsibility. Stop trying to micromanage your manifestation. Set a declaration, decide what you want, decide that you're willing to be supported, decide that you're willing to be guided, and give yourself permission to course correct as it comes up. Oh my God, Mom. Hey, girl. Yeah, it's really important that we give ourselves permission to make mistakes. Perfectionism is the fallacy that if I do everything perfectly, or if I get this right the first time, then I will be protected from rejection. And at the end of the day, nobody can reject you if you haven't gotten comfortable rejecting you. I could fail and fall on my face right now and still know that people will have received what they needed to receive from this live. I happened to take a few notes, but if you'll notice, this was not as structured as my lives normally are. And that's because I'm practicing showing up as I am and letting that be enough. I'm listening, I'm receiving, I'm ready to take action now. I love you. Oh, I love you, boo. I'm so glad that this has been helpful. I'm so glad it resonates. And I want you to share this with somebody who needs this. I want you to share this live with somebody that you know needs it. I'm a fire starter. I'm a door opener and a fire starter. So if you've been looking for permission to do something differently, bitch, do it. Go do it. Mommy, you're receiving it too? Beautiful. All right, as we're closing out, I need to know, what has been your biggest insight from today? What has been your biggest insight from this call? Or from this, that's what I normally ask clients. What has been your biggest insight from today's live stream? Just sent? I don't know what that means. Oh, sent the live to Dennis. I know that's right. I know that's right. Sharing is caring. Abundance is already mine. Go off. Abundance is already mine. And now it's just up to me to claim it. Abundance exists. Getting it is possible. Yes. Absolutely. Abundance is not something you get. It's something you own. You already have it. It's already there. It's something you own it and you claim it. That's it. You don't have to go anywhere to get your abundance. The abundance is here. We're claiming it. Practice claiming what abundance you already have. Like I said, I'm starting from baby steps. I have an abundance of clothing. I have an abundance of socks. I have an abundance of earrings. I have an abundance of pens all over this damn apartment. Right? I have an abundance of coffee mugs. We have to start small in order to be able to appreciate the big. Imperfect action over everything. Course correct in flight. Yes, 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 yes. Owning it is possible. Come on. Come on, girl. Speaking of abundance, I have an abundance of soulmate clients and students that show up to every fucking live and are present and participating. DeAndrea, you are a rock star. You show up to every damn live, and I appreciate you for it. That's an example of abundance. I have an abundance of superstar clients and superstar students that show up and do the work. I have an abundance of ideas, right? We have to own abundance in any form in order to make abundance more recognizable. Train your brain to recognize the abundance you already have access to. Because what you appreciate appreciates. Now I know we are closing out. I thank you all for doing what it took to come here, to show up for this, to engage with me. Because again, I have the courage to talk to myself, but I would prefer for us to go back and forth. Oh, these lives are a blessing. Oh, thank you. I received that. Thank you, boo. Please share this out with someone that you know would appreciate it. And if after this live, you're like, I need more, there are two ways that we can continue working together. If you want a self-study option, the Purpose-Driven Powerhouse is my training bundle. It's launching on July 1st, and it's going to have one training every 3 days for 30 days, automatically sent to your email. These trainings are pre-recorded. These are trainings that I have offered to teach you the mindset, the rituals, and the environment that you need to create in order to stay focused on the work that you are here to do in the world. Send me a DM if that sounds like something that you want to work through and something that you want for yourself. Also, my 90-day program, Decide to Succeed. It is my container, private coaching container, to help you reprogram your subconscious mind so that you can make your success safe and design your days to make your success inevitable. That is by application only. So you'll need to go to the link in my bio to schedule a consultation so that we can see if we're a good fit. And if you know that you are not ready for coaching yet, but you know someone that might be, show them this video and send them my way. I want you to have a delicious evening on purpose. I look forward to hearing about your insights. And let's see what magic we can create. Okay? Ciao.